What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Black Talent Sport, that's Bullet, and today's video is going to be a very special video. That's right, it's going to be driving the beach in the Explorer Sport. The reason why I lifted it is so that we can do just this, and today is the day. We're going to make that maiden voyage on the beach. The tires came in, my wheels came in, so that we're strapped them on and we're ready to go. All right, so stay tuned for the beach driving video. All right, so in a little bit we're going to go over some basic rules for driving the beach, and along with techniques, tactics, and requirements. Not all beaches require you to have the same thing or same like equipment, but it's also just very good to have on whatever beach that you're on. All right, why don't we take a look at all the tools that you should have with you, even if it's not a requirement.
What is the fastest way to open this door without even touching it? I know. There we go. I've always wanted to try that. Glad it works.
I keep what I call a 4x4 box with me, and that's this one right here. Never mind the rest of this stuff, as a lot of this is my fishing gear. All right. And it's just really a bin I got from Target, and just works the the perfect size to keep everything that I like to carry with me, whether it be a requirement or not. All right. And it's real simple. It's not really a lot of stuff. It's just 6 things really. So let's just go through that. All right, first, a jack. Now, this is the jack, of course, that came with my Explorer. They don't require any specific type, but this is just, I use the one that came with it. I wish I had one of those really nice off-road type jacks, the ones that have like off-road tire wheels and everything. But, the jack that came with your vehicle is fine. Because I am lifted 2 inches with the Traxda kit, I have to have something that goes under, because the stock jack cannot lift up my Explorer enough to get the wheels off the ground. So I use this little brick. It's about 2 inches. I lay the jack on top of that. Then I'm just able to get the wheels up, right? But also you want to have wood for two purposes. You want to have wood to use under your jack on the beach, on the sand, and also to give your tires a little bit of a path to get out. So I keep a couple different sizes. I keep this huge one just in case, and then this long one. Also have some others that I also have in the house that I guess I need to put inside. They're wider. They're much wider planks for the tires. All right, so that's the jack. You need to have wood. Very important, you need to have a tow rope. Very important, very important. Tow rope. All right, you also need to have a tire gauge. I keep 2 just in case one is not working, and also because of accuracy. I find that this one is not as accurate as my digital one. So this is like a mechanical one, but I also keep a digital one in the console. All right. You also need to have a portable toilet. I mean, that looks, really ridiculously dirty, but it's only because of the rust from from the bar, the frame that it sits on. This right here, not from usage, okay? All right. You also need to have plastic bags. A must to use both when you're using the toilet, and also for your garbage. You need to carry off whatever garbage you are using. All right. Another item that I have, I keep 2 shovels. This was a small one. This one can actually do quite a few things. I can cut something with that, or so but the bigger one that I keep, it's still small considering, But this is the one I normally would use to dig myself out of any type of scenarios. Okay, so that's, you know, oh, one other item that's missing, that's not here at the moment because I went fishing with my buddy. We took his vehicle and he didn't have the next item, which was an air hose. You need to have your own air hose when you are on the beach. Some beaches have an air pump and an air hose for you to use, or a lot of times some beaches won't have an air hose, but they'll have the fitting along with an air pump. So that means you would need to use your own. Okay. Some people actually have their own compressor, their own air compressor, because you'll have some beaches that will have neither air pump, air fitting, or nothing. So then you'd be required to carry your own air compressor. I used to carry one until it broke. Another thing is I keep this in the car as well. It doesn't do a great job at keeping my vehicle up, but I use this as a safety. Like when I'm using this the OEM jack, I'll put that up, but then I'll put this under the car somewhere just to catch it. So just in case my jack, the stock jack, fails, I'll have a stand to keep the vehicle from falling. All right, so that's basically it. That's all the items you need to have: the jack, wood planks, shovel, portable toilet, plastic bag, air hose, and that's basically it. I mean, I keep this Sawzall blade in here just in case I need to cut something off. If something snags, use that, cut it off. And that's it. That's basically all of the things that you should have. You might want to add in something else. You know, sometimes I make sure I have water. And that's basically it. Binoculars. That's it. So those are the requirements, or those are the items that you should have with you when you're on the beach. All right, so now why don't we just talk about some of the techniques, the etiquette, and strategies for actual driving your Explorer, or not just your Explorer, but any vehicle on the beach. All right, you've already decided that you did the right thing and you got all the equipment that you should have. Not that you may be required, or some beaches are required again, but there's other beaches where you don't have the same requirements. However, you should have all of those items with you. So why don't we just now just go through the scenarios. Okay, you've already aired down, right? So now you're just approaching the beach, or approaching the entrance. Most of those entrances to the beach access, 4x4 beach accesses, are treacherous, so be careful. Pick your spots. You don't want to, in most beaches you can't go over 10 miles per hour. Yeah, there are some scenarios when you can go a little bit faster. You might even have to go faster, but you have to proceed with caution. Right? You don't want to be hitting nobody's kids on the beach. You have to look out for campers and people that are actually on the beach. When I'm approaching those type of scenarios, no matter what the conditions of the sand is, I'm usually doing no more than 10 miles per hour because you have to be safe. But you want to select the best route. I call it the safe route. I usually do that first. If I don't know the beach that I'm on, and I just want to make sure that the conditions are right, I usually select the safe route, which is usually the route or the rut that is closest to the dunes. What are ruts? It's the grooves that when vehicles drive on the beach, they make a trail basically in the sand. It's very important to observe which rut you're going into and which other ruts are available. You'll see several, but I usually call the safe route the one closest to the dunes. I usually take that one first to feel that one out, and then I do what's called the crossover, which can be a challenge to accomplish, which involves getting out of one rut and transferring over to another. Now, if you don't have the proper tires or the proper 4x4 system or all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive system, attempt that maneuver cautiously. Trust me, it can be a doozy to get out to if you get stuck in between the ruts. All right, so now I want to talk about actual driving or gassing on the beach. yes, the speed limit is 10 miles per hour. But you want to ease into the gas when you're driving on sand. You don't want to gun it, because no matter how good your tires are, how good your 4x4 system is, whatever your all-wheel drive system is, you know, often if you gun it, you're doing nothing but digging yourself in the sand. You know, you've already aired down, so your tires have a better contact patch. They're spread out, so it's able to grip and give you more traction. But you want to ease into the throttle and ease off of the throttle and be easy on the brakes. You know, oftentimes you don't even have to use the brakes. The sand will slow you down. Okay. I also want to caution you in observing or driving over wet sand, that stuff that is closest to the water. Be very cautious in driving in that. You know, that is the easiest stuff to get stuck in. And please know that you get stuck there, the tide will come in and ruin your day. Trust me on that one, okay? I've seen many a posts and videos of cars stuck in that soft, wet stuff. The tide coming in, sweeping your vehicle away or flooding it. You don't want that. It's salt water. All right. One other thing is this. If, for whatever reason, you got stuck, but even before you got stuck, you should have did something. All right. My rule of thumb is if you are driving on the sand and then all of a sudden you start to lose momentum, the speed that you were going, the sand is starting to slow you down from that speed. That's your first warning sign that you need to stop. All right. Because if you got stuck, you should have stopped before you got stuck. And when is that? That is basically when you start losing momentum. Don't gun it. Don't gun it to gain back momentum. You're losing momentum because the sand, you're basically getting stuck. You're slowly getting stuck. All right? So if you lose momentum, just stop. Stop and assess. Assess what's the scenario. Are your tires buried? Is there something there that prevented you from going forward that you didn't see? All right. And in most cases, it's the sand. The condition of the sand is deteriorated. And the best thing to do is go into reverse, back up, and then take another route. But in the event that you didn't do all that, you didn't adhere to the warning signs, you didn't notice that you were losing momentum, and then now you're stuck, you can no longer go forward. All right, stop your vehicle, you get out, you look at your tires, look in front of the vehicle to see if there's anything blocking. If your tires dug a hole, then you got to get your shovel out. Okay, hopefully you decided to pack a shovel. You get your shovel out, you dig from in front of the vehicle, you dig along the chassis of your vehicle, which is the sides underneath. You dig sand out from the chassis, from the tires, and from what's in front of your vehicle. And then you look to see if there's anything blocking your vehicle when you decide to try to back out, because you're going to have to back out. You're not going to go through what just stopped you. You're going to have to reverse out of that scenario. All right, so if there's anything preventing you from being able to back out smoothly, you dig that sand out. It takes a lot of work. Trust me, I know. I've gotten stuck a couple of times. That is how I discovered the limits of both my previous vehicle and actually the limits of this vehicle. I got stuck twice. I'll tell you about that in a little bit though. So once you have you dug the chassis out, dug all the sand around from the chassis and then from in front and from around the wheels, you cleared the path. If you can't reverse out of your own power in that scenario, then you pretty much got yourself in the bad one. You don't have to call a tow truck yet, but you have to get some wood. That's why some of the requirements are for you to have wood. You get yourself a plank of wood, and then you put the wood right under the tires, just enough so you can get it under the tires, and then you put that in front of each wheel so that when you reverse, you'll be reversing on wood and not sand. Hopefully that'll give you some traction. Some companies do sell these like tracks that you can use and put that in place of the wood instead of the wood. Perfect. You get way more traction with that. I don't have that. I don't have the space for it. I have no desire to get that at this point. So you use the wood. Put the wood there, and you reverse on that. Hopefully you won't slip on the wood because your tires are good. You must have good tires, not bald ones. My tires are just about there, which is why you know, I'm about to purchase my new set of Nitos Ridge Grapplers. But you know, that's in a little bit. I got a little bit more life left, but I do need to hit my shop up, my guy, to purchase another set. All right, so with that wood, hopefully you was able to get out with the wood. If not, if that doesn't work, then you can either do one of two things. You can either flag someone down that is on the beach to find out if they can pull you out with the tow rope that you should have. If you don't have the tow rope, hopefully that person does. And then ask them if they mind pulling you out. If they're not going to pull you out, then it is time for you to call a tow truck. That's a very expensive bill out here to be towed off the beach. Thankfully, I wasn't. Each time that I got stuck, I was able to get out under my own power. And I'll just talk about the 2 times that I actually got stuck with this vehicle. With the previous vehicle, I got stuck a couple of times and needed help once or twice from a buddy. I was both times, coincidentally, I guess, I was in Montauk. I basically was on a level change. I was coming off of a road and trying to get onto another road, but the height was different. So most tuners know, you know, when your car is lowered, the best way to get off an elevation change is to take what's called the Jesus angle. Sounds hilarious, but it's called the Jesus angle, which means you drop one wheel at a time. You come in on an angle, drop the front wheel, and then, you know, you drop one wheel at a time to kind of make sure that you're not scraping the bottom. But in this case, because it was a level change, I didn't want to take the front end down. So I took the Jesus angle, and just as I got the front wheel down, my right rear wheel lifted, and then so that left my right front and the left rear kind of teeter-tottering, and it was just enough so that I did not have enough traction to pull myself through the rest of the cliff, which was the front left and the right rear. What it was is when they touched down, my tires dug a hole in the front left, and then when I backed up, it dug a hole in the right rear. Precarious situation to be in. So I got out, I assessed it, I saw what was going on. Yes, I was in sand mode, so all 4 wheels were spinning, but for whatever reason, the overdrive system, I guess it read slip at the right front and the left rear, decided not to give power to them. It only gave power to the left front and the right rear. As I said, they dug a little bit of a hole. So what I did, got my shovel out, I filled up the holes with gravel, sand, whatever I could find, filled them up, patted it down, right? Backed up enough so that the right front grabbed, and I was able to drive forward with enough momentum to actually get out of there. All right, and then what I did next is another thing that you should be doing, provided that you make any holes or pits in the sand on the beach. Don't leave those things. Fill them in. Do someone else a favor, because, you know, oftentimes these things are hard to see on the beach. You know, drivers, they drive into it and it's like going into a pothole on the beach. All right, so try your best to fill in any holes that you make. And also, if you were trying to get yourself out, you got yourself out, don't leave the wood planks there. I've seen way too many wooden planks where people got stuck. They decided to leave them there. That's a hazard. You know, you don't want to burst somebody's radiator. You don't want to, you know, damage the undercarriage of someone's vehicle. When they run over those woods, they pop up, you know. So do your best to take those type of obstacles or diversion with you when you leave the beach. Okay, one more very important thing to keep in mind when driving on the beach is etiquette. Now, what I mean is when you are entering a 4x4 access path, or you're on the beach, or you're close to an exit or an entrance, if you see, now mind you, right of way goes to the person that is exiting. Okay, so if you're coming on You got a car, there's not enough space for the both of you to get by each other side by side. You are supposed to stop and try and move your vehicle as much far over so that the person coming off can get off. That person coming off the beach has the right of way. A lot of people don't know that or don't think about that kind of thing. It actually helps, because you'll see some beaches or 4x4 access points don't have enough space for two vehicles to go side by side. So you kind of have to, you know, see ahead. If someone is coming and you're going on, you don't have the right of way. That person does. Give them a chance to get off so that you can both get by. All right? One other thing is trash. Almost all beaches have a rule. Carry on, carry off. Whatever trash that you decide to use and get rid of. Another reason why you have to have plastic bags is so you can keep your trash with you. Don't dirty the beaches. Too many of our beaches are trashed, and it's because of you and I. All right, so do your part and pick up the trash. All right, even if it's not yours, if you want to be so helpful, you see trash on the beach, pick it up. You know, someone decided not to pick it up, so why don't you?
All right, please remember to turn on sand mode before driving on the sand. It helps. Just a quick reminder to smash that like button, hit the subscribe and the notification bell to get notified when I come out for the next video. And speaking of the next video is probably going to be a controversial one, the Steeda throttle body spacer. I know what some of you guys are thinking. Is he nuts? Driving 20, 25 miles per hour on the beach? Truth be told, this particular section of the beach, this is when things got really sketchy. That sand coming up is powdery soft, it's very dry, and very difficult to get through at 10 miles per hour. So I pretty much had to step on it to keep my momentum. Boy, I can't say enough about these Pirelli tires, man. They're really doing their job, and this is really why I was so hell-bent on getting these particular tires. They're just outstanding on the beach. we're coming up on the spot that I planned on fishing for this particular morning in a little bit here. So I'm gonna hop out and take a couple of quick photos and start fishing.
Well, it's time for my impressions of the maiden voyage of the Explorer Sport on the beach. Very impressed. Very, very, very impressed. I almost didn't air down because I'm at a location where there is no air pump. Yeah, I don't normally fish spots that don't have air pumps, but today I decided to. So I wasn't going to air down, but I aired down to 30 psi. I didn't want to drive too far. There is an air pump a few miles away, but I didn't want to be driving miles at 20 psi on my new rims. I don't want to damage the rims. Can't damage the rims. You know, there's quite a few bumps nearby between here and the air pump, and I just didn't want to damage the rims. So I went down to 30 just to kind of be safe on the cautious side, and very pleased, very pleased. You know, feels great. The car is lifted, total of 3 inches, and it's definitely worth it. I'm not even dragging that front chin spoiler, whatever that thing is. I'm not dragging it, and I'm in some pretty sketchy stuff, but the Explorer Sport is doing a phenomenal job. All right, well, thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I actually hope that I was able to help you guys make some sound decisions if you decide to drive on the beach, involving taking the proper equipment and also proper techniques on the beach. Again, I want to thank you guys for liking, sharing, and subscribing. And please feel free to comment down below if you have any questions or concerns. And also, I want you to remember to please have a blessed day and peace out.